First of all, welcome to MCFB Live. Look at this, you guys. Number 86, In Search of Awesome. Tonight, Summer Griffin, Ensemble, Salon, Westland, Oregon. Griffin on a mission to make a big boom boom. I think you're going to really enjoy the conversation that we engage Summer in. And I want to thank, first of all, Darren Wood and Aaron Kramer, who are partners in the Salon at Ensemble, for allowing us to, steal her away. Actually, she's working tonight. She's like, she's like you. She's like a Jedi, one in the chair, two in the bowl, three waiting, anorexic, hooked up to a damn catheter, and she's going to hang out with us for a few minutes before she's got to go and continue to serve her guests. So let me tell you about her, because her story is nothing short of extraordinary. First of all, she's a 30-something, 35, level 4A, from like associate to 4A inside of a year. She's always loved doing hair. I'm going to let her tell you the story. She graduates from high school and does some college, and then spends 8 years in biz and decides, no, I want to pursue the calling. And graduates from hair school at 31 and says, you know what, I'm going to jump time. And she jumped time indeed. Look at the stats, man. W-2 for 2016, first full year behind the chair, 65,000. Lorenzo, are you hearing that, Scott? This is incredible. First year on the floor. I think if that's not number one, she's tied for number one. And she's trending this year in her second year. Britta Larson, are you hearing this? 80 grand, and she, as I've gotten to know her in the last few days and to prepare for tonight, she says she's going to, she's like focused. She wants to do, hit 6 figures in her third year. So I think that's nothing short of magnificent. I know, Cassie, it is a big wow. And hitting all the other marks. I mean, what I love about her, I love a lot of things about Summer, but she's running at about $140 tickets. So it tells me she's a Bali Lama. She's like balayaging and really premium color, the overwhelming majority of people that she serves. Her haircut price is at $56, and you benchmark that against her average ticket. She's running at almost 3 times her haircut on average ticket. So she's really in the game. She's very, very focused. Rebooks at 60%. Referrals, are you ready for this? She's running at like 230 and this year. And so she's not only, for herself, but she's, really a referral rainmaker for Ensemble. So she's hitting all the right stuff. RTS 15%, which tells us that she's teaching people that she serves, how to kind of recreate when they go home. 24 guests a week, and she takes in about $12,000 a month on her service. So like I said, she's doing it. Now, I'm going to get her to talk when we bring her about her best social media practice. I want her to tell you a little bit about her story, because it's extraordinary. But if we look at social media, and I'll bring you to her Instagram page, she's running at about 1,268 followers. Facebook at 347. She's got about 80% of her total clientele following her, and I think that's one of the reasons why when she posts, she's getting a lot of recaptured repeats as well as referrals. And, she really understands hashtagging as well. So enough about the stats. And there she is. So why don't you, first of all, give it up for Miss Summer. Hey, Summer, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we can hear you too. And thanks, first of all, I know you're working tonight, and you got a lot of stuff going on. So thanks a lot for hanging out with us. Your story is just extraordinary. Once upon a time, like you always wanted to do this, and as you went through middle school, high school, but something happened at graduation that kind of took you off the path of being a hairdresser. Catch us up on that part of your life.
Okay, so I graduated high school and I wanted to do hair. Spoke to my mom about it, and she said, oh no, you're not going to make money in hair. Almost every person I spoke to said you won't make money. So I went to college and I pursued business. And I worked 8 years as a general manager for a multi-million-dollar company, and I made pretty good money. And I was miserable. I wasn't happy. And after, I watched my mom my whole life, and I kept telling her, I'm not happy. And she said, that's what life's about. You're not going to like your work. You got to work. And I'm like, no, I got to change. So I went ahead and stuck to the career that I wanted. So I went to hair school at the age, I quit my job at 27, went to hair school at 28 and was done by 31.
You're done with hair school at 31, and then when you and I were chatting a day or so ago, when you got out of school, you did a lot of due diligence, like searching. You were like serious about, I want to catch up, make up for lost time. So you were like checking out a lot of salons before you decide to land on Ensemble. Did I get that right?
Yeah, so I went through and I looked at a lot of salons, and what made me choose Ensemble is that they had it actually structured, which was Summit. And so I looked at their graphs and I'm like, okay, I can make this much money per year. And as soon as I seen that, I went ahead and I was like, I got this, you know? And I looked at Darren, my manager, the owner, and I said, I want to make 60 grand. I need a chart to make 60 grand. And he said, okay.
I love that. So he pulls out the level chart and he actually shows you like this is the path. If you get on this path, you can get there sooner than later. And that sounds like that was one of the points that you needed to see to go, you know what, this is going to be my home.
Oh yeah, and I seen it and I went for it. And I was like, okay, you put it in front of me. This is how much I have to do a month. I broke it down by week and day by day, and then I went right.
Nice, very nice. So you're in it, and what I'm really curious about is how did you get from associate to 4A? You like went there at Mach 5. I mean, like at the speed of light. And as you look back on how you got there, in a nutshell, what were those variables that really, juiced you to get to that place?
I was marketing myself on Facebook and Instagram. I was hungry to make money, so I did everything I could. And there wasn't a minute that went by. If I wasn't busy at the salon, or even when I was in my off time or not working, I was marketing and promoting myself.
Yeah, when you and I were chatting, you said, the passion that drove you was, I really want to get into what I wanted to do in my 20s. I'm in my 30s, so I want to get there fast. So you take advantage of all the Summit stuff, but you're a social media Jedi. So you started working social big time at the very beginning.
Oh yeah. I started posting pictures, so I just take pictures of clients, post them, engage with every single person on my social media that commented or reacted to it.
So now, and I'm going to take you to some of your best practices in a moment, but you're at 4A now, inside of like a year-ish. So what's next for you? Where do you go from here?
The next thing I want to do is open a salon, and that's already been talked about, and we're just looking at locations to make sure that it's a fit for everybody.
Yeah, and so, I know you're having conversations, I think, with Darren and Aaron about, joint venturing something with them.
At this point, that's my next goal. And right now, I'm just working, I want to keep building myself. So I don't think I'm going to stop here. I'm going to just keep trying to go further and further. And this year, hopefully break 80 grand. Next year, I want to make 6 figures.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit of social. What are you doing, in how you use Facebook Messenger as a referral builder? And I know you use your associate to help you with that. In a nutshell, what is that?
I have my associate help me by spending a lot of time answering the clients on my media, because I don't have time to do that when I'm working and doing the technical skills. I'll do it when I'm off work. I spend an hour every morning and then about an hour every night. That's the first thing I do when I wake up on social media. But I go ahead and I have my client, I take a picture and I'll send her the pictures and I ask her to tag me. So I'll have her put the photo on my Facebook, put it on her personal Facebook and tag me. And every person that comments or likes, I actually send them a scripted message, and I just copy and paste it so it doesn't take too much time. And I just offer them a service, tell them to come on in, check me out. And give a new client special almost every time. I'd say out of every 100, I get 20 in, so it's about 20%.
You just said was so potent and powerful. I'm going to actually show the viewers the script when we're done chatting. But you really, when that picture goes on your client, your guest page, you and your associate follow up on those comments. And like you said, you have a scripted, something scripted that you say that you actually now copy and paste into that message. Do you messenger? Do you send that to them via Facebook Messenger? Or, how do they get that?
Yeah, Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger. So I do it on both.
I love it. So the other thing that when you and I were chatting was that you'll spend money boosting, advertising. So, and I know that you're on the front end of that, but I'd like you to say just a little bit about what that is.
So I personally boost my personal page on Facebook, and then I boost myself on Instagram. The last thing I boosted was extensions, which I just recently started. But I boost a lot of my hair pictures and a lot of my color, a lot of my balayage, and I get return from that. And I do. The salon also boosts as well, but they boost all other stylists. I just want to focus on myself too and build myself.
Right. So the salon boosts content on their page. You'll boost the content on your page. Some of the content that you have goes on their page, and the content that you're putting on your page, you'll boost, you'll promote. Like, how much money would you like put on a typical boost?
$5 to $10.
And you know, as you watch that, do you see the engagement go up, like more and more comments on what they're seeing, so you've got more potential referrals to follow up on?
Oh yeah.
Because people watching, a lot of them, they don't promote. So somebody like you, they're listening big time. They're going, okay, wait a minute. So she puts $5 on some of her content, and for that $5, how many referrals typically, if you had to guess, would you get for that $5 investment?
At least 4, 5.
I love it.
You know, and over time, if you build that up, that's a lot of money.
Oh.
At least I get people who inquire. You know, and that's the best part, because then once they inquire, I can draw them.
Oh, yeah. So, you and I didn't chat about this summer, but when people go to the summit, one of the guidelines the summit uses is it's $80 in advertising to get one client in. And you're saying, wait, I'll get 3 or 4 referrals on a $5 boost. So it's costing me $5 to get 4 new clients. And in conventional advertising, that number to get 4 is somewhere around $320. So what a return on? Oh my God, it's big. Big.
That hit a target market, and so I hit only women. You know, whatever my target market is, I think everybody's is different. I don't focus on younger. I focus from 20s to 45.
Yeah, well,
I push.
I'm going to take, when we're done chatting in a couple of minutes, I'm going to take people to your Instagram page so that they can see the work that you're posting. Your average ticket is running 3 times your haircut. So the how you're branding yourself, you're filling up windows of time with triple-digit tickets. So there's little to no effort you put into upselling. Your guests come in booking full balayage and haircuts, I think.
Pretty much, yeah.
So we got a couple minutes left with you, and there's a whole bunch of people that are watching. I'm kind of looking at my dashboard here, and you're just breaking the world open tonight, setting the world on fire. So you're 30 something. You took you spent your 20 somethings in a career that was less than satisfying. You decide you're going to take a giant leap of faith on the first 1 or 2 years of 30 something. Here you are now at a place that many hairdressers won't even be close to after 30 years. So people watching tonight, if there's something that you could say to them that might give them hope, inspire them to, move from wherever they're at to that next rung, in a nutshell, what would it be now that you're there blazing the trail?
Say believe in yourself and get out of your comfort zone. Because I think a lot of people get comfortable and they don't want to approach people, because sometimes people are like, oh, no, thank you. And I've never got a harsh word from anybody. But even my associate, when she first started doing it for me, she looked at me and said, are you sure? Are you sure we should send this out to somebody? And I said, heck yes, send it. If they tell me no, they reject me, that's okay.
I love it. So you keep pushing the envelope, getting outside of the zone. And I remember you saying to me something on the last few months that you were an office manager. You went out with some of your peers, and it was just a lot of complaining and whatever. It was like dreadful. And you just said, I just don't want to do this. I'm not going to spend the next 20 or 30 years of my life into something that's going to make me feel like the people around me feel. And as a result, you're here today like you're on fire.
Well, for the management company that I was working for, I was the youngest general manager in the company. And I sat down a huge regional meeting, probably 99 people, women, powerful people. And on break, everybody went outside and they just were smoking cigarettes and miserable and complaining and unhappy. And I looked around and I had a huge change. I just looked at everything. I'm like, this cannot be my life. You know, I'm going to go do what I wanted to do. And I don't care if I make as much money, but honestly, I'm going to surpass probably this year what I was making in my 20s. And so for me, I'm happy, and it's just going to continue to grow.
Thank you. You're a definite vision of what's possible when people have the courage to, like you said, break out of their comfort zone and step up to the next level. Listen, we're out of time, but you're on my secret group, Summit Social Media Masters. I want to stay in touch with you because next year I want to catch up with you, and I want to stand witness you going over 6 figures and bring you back for an encore. So are you ready to do that?
I'm ready.
Excellent. Well, give it up one more time for Miss Summer because she's got some. I know you have clients that you need to get to, so I'm going to say goodbye to you and thank you once again for hanging out with us tonight, my friend.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Stay well. What she didn't say is oldest of 4 kids, single mom. Mom didn't really enjoy the work. Mom wanted Summer to get a, quote, good career. So she does a little bit of college. 8 years into it, late 20-something, she says, this is not for me. And she makes a career pivot. She jumps off and she begins to, she goes and starts all over again. What she didn't tell you is that she saved money in her 20s because she had this intuitive hunch that she might want to make the pivot. So for a year or two, she's living on her savings, funding hair school to be able to do this. Fast forward a little bit, she gets out and now, she's working in the Summit Salon. She's using the level chart, she's using the planner, she's using the tracker, and she's using her social media best practices. I mean, the bonfire is Summit, but the social media is like nitroglycerin on the bonfire. I mean, that's what's really making it happen big time for her. And so now, from here, she's now thinking about doing a partnership and getting into owning the salon. So she's on fire. But the biggie, the social media best practices were, first of all, 70% of her guests, she's photographing 8 pictures per guest. There's a lot going on there. She's posting 3-5 times a week. And her associate is helping her manage that. She is messaging the clients that are commenting, that post on their page, and when their friends make a comment, she'll say something like, I'm glad you liked Carol's look. I love the opportunity to work on your hair, and that there's some incentive that she sends to them. So, she's on her game, big time on all of this. And then, of course, she'll continue to message people, and she's boosting. And the $5, the $10 boost, she's saying it's getting her, 4 or 5 referrals. You do the math on that, it's just extraordinary. So her page, if you want to check it out, it's Summer Griffin. And if you scroll her work on Instagram, she's a hair master as well as social media. So, thank you, Summer, for hanging out with us tonight. So, great show tonight, gang. Yeah, she was extraordinary, and Marty Van Wagner said, so proud of you, Summer Griffin. If you're new to us, we do this every week. This was the 86th episode. You're on Michael Cole OTT Facebook, and we're now blogging video almost on a daily basis. So this really, if you're serious about making big time money and going up with us, I'm on Instagram, Michael Cole BGTD, as in Boom Goes to Dynamite. And as I said before, if you're a salon and you're not part of Summit, check us out, summitsalon.com. Just navigate that website. There's a lot of real cool stuff on that website. If you hit summitsalon.com/products, it brings you to our tapes and our books and our videos and all that stuff. You can download an app. 2 of my favorites is Over the Top, the text, and the planner that Summer is using to kind of manage her social media best practices and what are the windows of time that I'm looking for social media to fill. There's another place on summitsalon.com, summitsalon.com/MC Live. It will take you to a curated page of all of the episodes from the, like the 86th episode all the way down to number 1. And I don't know that you need to go all the way back to number 1, but I think if you went from this episode back to probably episode 30, that in and of itself is like social media training on steroids. So I hope you take me up on my offer. I want to end like I always end. I always like to thank Summit Salon Business Center. I'm part of the co-creators of that, along with Randy Kunkel and now Peter Mahoney, Glenn Baker, Heather Bagby, Dave Kirby, Gavin Salisbury. I mean, it goes on and on and on. We've got a consulting group now of about 80 wonderful consultants, a front desk team division, a social media division. So we got a lot of stuff going. I just want to thank them. Our big sponsors, though, is L'Oreal Professional Product Division. Those are their lines. Those are the brands. And so if you really enjoy it, just know that without their support, we couldn't do the work. So this would be a great way to say thank you. Get involved in Summit. Get involved with L'Oreal PPD, and of course Salon Centric. Marty Van Wagner is a Summit Salon Centric sales consultant, and he really basically turned me on to one of his best clients because he saw that they were growing big time. So thanks, Marty. Then again, we've got our parent companies, State Beauty Supply, as well as RDA. So on behalf of everybody, just want to say thank you. Can't wait to see you next week for, episode number 87. So I'm going to pause to say good night.